Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Cell Tech for Seniors presentation. We're going to do a couple little things real quick first. So if I could have everybody stand, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, since I don't have the police department here yet, I do have a Securitas, so I'm going to have Lieutenant Roman come up here and give a brief update. Good morning. How are you?
Not bad.
Good.
Good afternoon, Sun Lakes and guests. My name is Lieutenant Roman. I'm the lieutenant here for Sun Lake Security. Unfortunately, our director of security, Michael Romero, wasn't able to come in today, so I'm going to fill in for today. Just going to go over a couple of things. We have been seeing a lot of missing cats. I'm not sure what's going on, but a lot of the cats we've been reporting on haven't had any collars or chips or any kind of identifying markers. So just please ensure your cats are chipped and collared, and right away let us know if they go missing, so that way we can have our team start looking. We do have the semi-annual garage sales coming up beginning this Saturday, and then every following Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We just ask that everyone be courteous, try and be careful with your parking. We won't be issuing out citations from Friday through Sunday to give all the residents enough time to prepare and put everything away at the end of the season. Speeding. We have been noticing a lot of speeders, and we're continuing to combat it as much as we can. We're informing all the guests as they come through the gate, reminder to follow all speed laws. But it's also up to us to let them know, we are being watched, and please follow all speed rules. One big issue we have been getting a lot of is residents and guests walking through vehicle lanes. So at gate 1, there's a pedestrian gate, and then there's the vehicle gates, and we've been having a lot of residents walk through there. It's very dangerous. Those gates they do have sensors, but sometimes it doesn't catch it at the right time or something happens. So please refrain from using the vehicle lanes. We had one incident last month where a resident with a stroller got caught on the track as they were trying to come in, and the gate's starting to close. So fortunately, they were able to get the stroller unlodged from the track, but that's an issue that does happen. So please be mindful, and if any of the pedestrian gates aren't working, report it right away so we can let the maintenance team know. Scams. We have been getting a few calls regarding scams going on within the community, from simple scams as service coming up saying we'll clean your car, you just pay us and we'll take care of it. Let us know when that kind of thing happens. There are no solicitors allowed within Sun Lakes, and so whenever these kind of things happen, we try and make sure that's not a scam by verifying the services. We have heard reports of a little bit more elaborate scams regarding a power utility company calling you and asking for access to your property. So whenever you have any numbers and you're not sure if it's the official number, make sure you Google it or look it up or find the official website and pull the number from there. Call them and make sure that the information the other people are telling you is correct, just to prevent yourself from being scammed. I think that's pretty much all I have. Does anyone have any questions? Sure.
When my husband and I were golfing the other day with friends, we noticed that there's some young gentlemen that were fishing in the ponds by 18. So I wanted to scream at them, hey, we pay for that fish. No, but anyhow, so we did report it, not only to the golf place, but also to security. So I want you guys to be aware that it's happening a lot. That's the second time we've seen that. I don't know if it's homeless people coming in, or is it just visitors?
So typically when that has happened, it's usually guests. It's usually family members trying to find something to keep themselves entertained with, but there are no fish in any of the ponds here. And we've told them that before, and there's no fish. But yes, just let us know. We'll go out there and we'll clean it up, because it does, when they do disturb the sand and disturb the ponds, it does affect the ecological area. So it's important for us to remove those people from that area. But thank you for that. Does anyone have any other questions, concerns?
Sure. If I see one of these cats that's not mine, that is running in our back, because I've seen one lately, do I call you, or where do I call? Because I didn't know where to call. I mean, it might be a feral cat, but it wasn't going to come and let me pet it.
Thank you. So the security department doesn't have the tools required to capture cats. We help out with dogs personally, because we're pet lovers ourselves, and dogs are a little easier to handle. But with cats, they tend to be timid and shy, and they run away from us. So if you do happen to see one, if you have any way of capturing it, or even just maybe locking in a garage or something like that and calling us, we can have somebody from the animal rescue team come out, or pet control, or animal control, to come out and help assist return the pet. But yes, if you do see them, try and let us know. But we do have a lot of feral cats because of the area that we live next to. So that's why we always encourage chips and collars, because otherwise it's very difficult to return the pets. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Lieutenant Roman. I just would like to remind everybody, when we take questions, you must talk in the microphone, because this is being broadcast on Channel 97, and they can't hear you if you're just looking up here and talking to them or talking to me. So wait until I bring the microphone over to you, and then stand up, and then go ahead and ask your question, and then they will answer it. Before we get started, I see that Banning PD isn't here yet, but I just want to go over a couple of little things real quick. A reminder that many are ignoring: when the sirens and lights are flashing for the fire department, ambulance, or police, you must pull over. A lot of you are not pulling over. They're responding to a call that may be a life or death situation, and you must give them the right of way. It may be your life one day when they can't get through to help you. Again, please stop at all stop signs. Golf carts do not have the right of way. There are times that golf carts are crossing from one hole to another, and cars sometimes are not paying attention and do not see that you're trying to cross. Please be aware and be safe. Cars, you need to slow down. Take care when around the golf course. I have also been advised that walkers are walking in the streets, which I know it's much easier on your bones, on your feet, on your knees. I totally get it. But please be cautious. Sometimes the cars cannot see you when you're going around that corner and they're coming around the other way. I've seen a couple of times some people have almost gotten hit. Please be aware when you're walking on the streets that cars may not be able to see you. Again, we are getting complaints regarding dogs not on leashes. I am again asking you to be respectful to others. Keep your animals on their leashes. It is a state law, and it is a Sun Lakes rule. Securitas will be issuing citations, so please be diligent in keeping your animals safe. They are your responsibility. They don't know what they're doing, but you do. Now, another thing here is your community concerns or suggestions can be addressed by the following. Please be aware of the delegate process, the committee structure, and lastly, and most importantly, if you want your concerns addressed in a timely manner, utilize a message to management, either on the web page or written form located in the reception desk. Another note, that the community awareness program is not a complaint center regarding waste management, vandalism, dogs on leashes, electric issues, etc. Although I love talking to all of you, I don't have the answers to everything, and this is not the idea of this program. This program's focus is on keeping our community safe to provide information and programs, important public safety matters, community interests, and how to make homes more secure, how to protect property, how to reduce the risk of being vandalized. We want to stay vigilant, keep an eye on our community, provide presentations to keep you informed. We are not 911 or Securitas. I am not 911 or Securitas. Please, if you have any security concerns, contact 911. If you see something, say something, contact 911. Also, just to make you aware, the Banning Police Station lobby is always closed on Fridays. I just found that out. I did not know that. And my last but not least, there's going to be a meet and greet with Supervisor Gutierrez in our main ballroom here Friday, May 12th from 1 to 3. Mr. Gutierrez, you can come here and hear about the many services Riverside County provides for seniors. Representatives from Riverside County Department of Public Social Services and Office on Aging will accompany Supervisor Gutierrez. He will be here to answer any questions. So again, it's going to be on Friday, May 12th, here in the main ballroom from 1 to 3. There are some little flyers in the back. And two more things, I'm sorry. I want to get this now because I've got your attention, because once we go with our program, you're just going to leave. So I've got your attention now. Next month is our fire extinguisher use. There is flyers in the back. It's be prepared how to properly use a fire extinguisher. The topics are the fire triangle, types of fires, home smoke alarm, basics, exit drills in the home, portable fire extinguishers, fire extinguisher safety, using a fire extinguisher, confinement, and creative resources. So we have someone coming in and doing a wonderful presentation for us. And I also wanted to let you know, in the back, if you have not picked up your little certificate of participation for the Age Well Drive Smart, they are in the back. And from now on, they will be at the reception desk. So the people on Channel 97, if you're watching, you can pick them up from the reception desk. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our speakers today. Is Eric Baltazar and Steve Prado. So if you want to come on up, and we're ready for you. Again, please make sure that you're going to wait and have your questions answered after they do their presentation. We don't want to interrupt them. And so I'm going to let them introduce everyone here, and I'm going to give you all a microphone. Don't forget, do not ask any questions until the very end of the presentation, and I will bring the microphone around to you. Thank you.
Hi. For very special, I've never been given a round of applause before. I'm Eric Baltazar, co-founder of Fixology Tech. This is my brother Darren Baltazar.
Hey guys.
Co-founder. This is Steve. He's our right-hand man and partner. So I have another commitment I have to go to at 2 o'clock, so I'm going to depart here from in about 5 minutes. So today we're going to teach you how to do the 21st century. I know that a time ago we didn't have smartphones and computers that are of today's capabilities, and so technology moves at such a rapid pace. Even for someone like us that are in tech, it's hard to keep up. This is our business, and we're still learning things on a daily basis. We never stop learning here. Yeah, we're gonna go through this presentation, give you some basic info on how to protect yourselves from scammers, how to use basic functions of your device, like how to block an unknown caller, how to use Wi-Fi, Bluetooth settings, the difference between being connected to 4G, 5G, and Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and much more. So we're gonna go through this presentation. We'll have like a Q&A at the end. We'll stand here, take questions from you guys, general questions, and then after that, we'll do a more in-depth kind of thing. If you guys have a question on your cell phones that you've been having problems with, or any questions like that, you guys can come up to us and ask your individual questions, and we'll be more than happy to help you. So I'm gonna hand the mic off to my brother Darren to start off the presentation, and I'm gonna head out. Thanks.
All right, thanks, Eric. All right, guys, so again, I'm Darren, and I know there's a lot in the 21st century, a lot. And what we're gonna cover today is just barely the tip of the surface, but it'll be more than enough to get you guys by. Okay, so just basic functions, and we'll be all good to go. Okay, topics for today. Phone usage 101. We're gonna go over how to add, edit, or delete contacts from your phones, how to detect real calls versus scam calls, because we all hate scam calls. I think I got like 7 this morning, and it's barely 1 o'clock. Then we're gonna learn how to detect scam text messages and learn how to block them. And from there, last but not least, we'll learn how to block numbers. Okay, phone usage 101. Who here does not know how to use the basic operations of their phone? Raise your hands, raise your hands. Who struggles? Who struggles how to learn how to use their phones? All right, quite a bit, quite a bit. Okay, so the basic functions are the power on and power off of your phone. On most of the phones, they're gonna be the big circle button on the right-hand side. That's mainly for all iPhones. So if you have an Apple device, feel free to get it out and you can follow along as we walk through the presentation. And if you have an Android device, feel free to have that out as well, and I'll be doing the comparisons between an Apple and an Android device. Okay, let me take off my case so I can demonstrate here. I have both an iPhone and an Android here to share with you guys. So if you have an iPhone, it's always gonna be the big circle button here on the right-hand side of the phone. Now, if you want to turn it off, on some phones, you just hold that big circle button until it prompts you to turn it off. On other devices, you're gonna have to hold the volume button and the power one at the same time to turn it off. And that'll help you turn it off and then turn it back on once you do turn it off. Now, the differences between Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, we get that quite a bit. We get customers who ask us, hey, how do I know if my phone's connected on Wi-Fi? Or how do I know if it's on Bluetooth? I want to connect to a speaker. I want to be able to play my music on my car. Or my carrier says, hey, I'm using all my data, but I'm at home. And at home, I have Wi-Fi. So if you have an iPhone, depending on which model you have, you can swipe down from the right corner. From the right corner, you swipe down, and you'll see a list of icons. It'll look like a Wi-Fi. You'll see the Bluetooth one, a little picture of a plane. And the one with 3 bars, that's going to be your Wi-Fi. If it's colored, that means your Wi-Fi is on and working. If it's gray, that means it's not on. And same thing for the Bluetooth. It's right next to that Wi-Fi button. And if you have an older iPhone, you just swipe down from the very bottom up, and it'll prompt up those same icons. And if you're having issues finding these, no worries, we'll go over them after the whole presentation is done. Okay, and then your flashlight as well, you'll find that in the little icons when you either swipe down from the right side or swipe up from the bottom. Then making a phone call or video call, it can be a little complicated, so we'll save that for the end. If you guys need help making a phone call or a video call, when you're trying to chat with your relatives or your nephews, nieces, grandkids. And then silencing your device. If you have an iPhone, it'll always be on the left side of the device. It's gonna be the smallest little switch towards the very top. I know it's hard to see from up here. So there should be 3 little buttons on the left side of the device. The very top one, that's gonna be your silencer. So if you flick that upwards, that means your volume's gonna be on. You'll hear when your calls come in, they'll have ringtones. But if you feel like you don't want to talk to anyone, you want to ignore your phone calls, you just flip that switch down and it'll silence everything. That way, no one bugs you, and you can just be in your own little world. Yeah, we'll do that at the end. 'Cause it could be a little intricate how to get there and how to set it up. So we'll set that at the very end for the one-on-one questions. And then your front and back cameras as well, you can access that from the little icons when you either swipe down from the right side or swipe up from the very bottom. All your main usage little icons and shortcuts will be from when you swipe down. There will be a picture of a camera. Once you open up that camera, the little camera picture, it'll automatically go to your camera. Yes, only on the iPhones. If you have an Android, we'll go through that at the very end with the one-on-one questions. Perfect. And then sending a message as well, it can be a little tricky just to explain in person like this, so we'll go over that with the one-on-one questions and the one-on-one interactions. Okay, now how to add, edit, or delete contacts on your phone. Oh. Yeah, you got to put that little vibrator switch we just learned. Okay, so how to add, edit, or delete contacts from your phone with an Apple product. Okay, you'll see pictures up here. So on the very left of that picture you see up there, it'll be a contact, how contacts appear on your iPhone. So in this picture, you'll see Allison. So if you want to make any changes to Allison's contact, at the very top right corner, you'll see an edit button. So any changes you want to make to a contact, you want to look for the edit button. You want to change something up. You want to mix it up a little bit. Okay, and then once you hit that edit, it'll prompt up all the little available boxes of information you can fill. So, hey, look, I see Allison doesn't have a last name. Or what if Allison works for Spectrum Wi-Fi? So from there, you can enter in a last name, or you can enter the company that she works for. If Allison is crazy and she has 4 different phone numbers, you can easily enter as many phone numbers as you like. Or maybe you want to save an email under Allison's name. You can hit that little green plus and just type in their email. And then once you're all done, you'll see a done button on the top right corner, and you'll just hit done. And then all the changes you made to her contact will forever be saved under that. But say Allison is an annoying next door neighbor, and you don't want to talk to her. You guys aren't friends no more. You're like, you know what, Allison? I'm going to delete your number. So same concept. You go to Allison's number. You're annoyed of her. You go to edit, and you scroll all the way down to the very bottom, and you'll hit that big red button that says delete contact. But if you hit it on accident, don't worry, because it'll ask you, hey, are you sure you want to delete this? And maybe you were just upset. Maybe she cheated in poker. You're like, you know what? She don't deserve to have her number deleted. You know, I won't delete it. And you hit no. And then from there, you'll be all set. Okay, now on an Android device. Okay, every Android, it's a little complicated with Androids. That's why we love Apple devices, us personally, because they're super straightforward and simple to use. It doesn't matter which device you have. You can have an iPhone, a computer, or a tablet, and they always all work the same. But with Androids, there's so many different variations and different models that they don't always all work the same. So we'll go through it here. And just keep in mind that some Android devices might be a little bit different. Their edit buttons might be on the left instead of the right side. Or maybe their contacts, the picture of the contacts looks a little different than some other devices. But it's pretty much the same concept, if you will, on how to add, delete, or change information. Okay, so deleting multiple contacts. So here, if you go on the contacts icon of your Androids, you'll see a whole list of contacts. Okay? Now, if you want to delete contacts, you're going to hit those 3 little dots on the right-hand corner. See, like iPhone, it doesn't say edit. You'll see little dots instead when it comes to an Android. So when you want to delete contacts, you'll hit those 3 little dots on the right corner, and then you can click on whichever contacts you want to delete. And then from there, you hit the delete trash icon, and then from there, you just move the trash, it'll forever be deleted. But if you want to make changes, it'll be like the same thing on the iPhone. You click on the person's name, and then from there, you'll see either 3 dots again to make changes, or you'll see an edit button where you can go in and you can make all the changes that you like. And yeah, see, we already went through all that. We're flying through this, guys. All right. So now, what everyone's really here for, how to detect real calls versus scam calls. Okay, scam caller warning signs. Okay, number 1, someone claiming they're from charity fundraisers, especially during the holidays and after disasters. Or another important one is elections. During election time, you get a whole bunch of those. The second one, calls pitching products or services with terms that sound too good to be true. So for an example, someone says, hey, try my product. It's only $2 today, right? Boom, you give them $2, easy. It's $2 is nothing to you, right? It's something super small. But what you don't know is that person is doing it to 1,000 different people. So now $2 times 1,000 people, and now they have $2,000, right? So common scam offers include free product trials, cash prizes, cheap travel packages, medical services or devices, reapproved loans, debt reductions, and investment opportunities. And now the third one would be an automated sales call from a company that you have not authorized to contact you. That's an illegal robocall and almost certainly a scam. So these, again, are just a few common, but most common reasons as to why you get scam calls versus real calls. Chances are, if you haven't opted in to receive messages from your bank, if you didn't call your bank directly and say, hey, I want to receive messages from you to let me know about changes to my account, then chances are if you get a message saying, hey, call us back at this number, we have some changes in your account, chances are that's not true. If you didn't sign up for it to begin with, it's not true. Okay, now scam caller warning signs. How to detect it when it comes up under your phone. The location under the number reads United States. This means that the call cannot be tracked down to a specific location. So red flag, red flag, red flag. If it's not like a 951 area code or a 909, and it just says United States, or if it says Canada or Mexico, do not answer it, do not answer it. The second one would be your phone reads spam risk or scam likely when getting a call. And this one's a no-brainer, guys. Don't answer. A lot of these newer phones, that's why it's great to upgrade every so once in a while, because all these newer phones do get these technology advances and these software upgrades to where it can detect calls like this a lot easier and just automatically block it out. So if you have something like a flip phone or like a super older phone, I know it's hard to upgrade and get used to all the changes, but sometimes it's for the betterment of yourselves. Okay, next slide. How to protect yourself. Number 1, go to your phone carrier and ask them to add scam caller detection services if they offer it. Most of them do. This will prompt your device to read possible scam whenever receiving a call. So me personally, I have Verizon, and it comes included in my plan. All you gotta do is ask the carrier to activate it under every phone line that's on your plan. And it's Verizon's own protection software. So whenever you get a call from a scam likely or a scam possible, instead of just not knowing who it is, it'll automatically read that as if they're calling you. So you know how when you save a contact, it'll be under like Allison or Margaret, that name, and that's how you know how to answer it. But with their software, their whole name, it won't even be a phone number, it'll just be scam likely or scam possible. And that'll be the easiest way to detect if it's a scam caller or a real caller. Number 2, put your phone number on the FTC's National Do Not Call Registry. It won't stop spam calls, but it will make them easier to spot because most legitimate telemarketers won't call you if you're on the registry. Go to www.donotcall.gov and register. It's free to register. It's a government website. Just follow the steps. It's super, super easy. I think it's like 3 or 4 steps. You enter in your phone number, and it does help reduce a lot of the calls that you do receive. Number 3, do not answer unknown calls. If it's important, they'll leave a voicemail. Number 4, don't return one-ring calls from unknown numbers. And number 5, last but not least, don't follow instructions on a pre-recorded message, such as press 1 to speak to a live operator or press any key to get taken off a call list. It will probably lead to more robocalls. And that being, the more you interact with one of these scam callers, these automated messages, they know there's a real person on the other end of that line, which means they'll send your number to thousands of more of these robocallers because now they know that this number is legitimate, that someone on the other line is a real person, and now they're interacting with these messages you receive. Okay, oh, actually, we have some more. Okay, number 6, don't give personal or financial data, such as your social security number, credit card number, or address to callers you do not know. The only time you should ever give your social security number is if you're applying for a new credit card or if you're trying to buy a new house. Other than that, your social security card, you gotta put it in your mental safe. Don't ever, ever, ever give that out to anyone. Your credit card information, not unless you're buying something online. If you're going to Amazon, if you're going to Target, Walmart, big brand stores like that. That should be the only time you give your credit card number. Even if you're getting a Wi-Fi for your new place, they don't ask for a credit card number over the phone. They don't ask for that information. They'll do all that in person when they come with you and they set up whatever purchases or services that the company's offering you. Number 7, don't pay registration or shipping charges to get a supposed free product or prize. And number 8, don't make payments by gift card, prepaid debit card, or wire transfer. Okay, now here you'll see some pictures of examples of scam text messages. So again, as I was telling you guys earlier, if you guys personally did not sign up to receive alerts or messages from your bank, if you ever get one saying, hey, this is your bank, please click on this link to see your account. Your account's been drained of all its money. Do not click on that because you didn't sign up for alerts. So this is what it'll look like. Dear customer, Bank of America is closing your bank account. Oh no. Please confirm your PIN at notbankofamerica.com. So it's super funny. Sometimes I personally have fun with these because their links are just ridiculous. You know, it's not even the real website. Like, look at that, not Bank of America. But you would be surprised at how many people click at that just because they don't read the rest of the message. They just say or read, hey, your bank account's closing. And if you have money in there, you're like, oh no, you just panic. But remember, you gotta stop and think. An extra 10, 15 seconds is not gonna cost you your life or your bank account. Just read thoroughly. And if you're not sure, you can always look it up online, on Google or your computer. Be like, hey, you can type in the whole message that you receive onto Google, and Google will automatically tell you if it's a scam text or a real text. Now this one, look at the contact. It says unknown number. Follow this link to claim your free prize. Again, another scam. Now young me, when I was, 10 years old, I'd always see these on my little tablet or on my phone, and I was like, oh, hey, I got a free prize. And I click on the link, and I probably went through maybe 6 tablets, because once you click on this link, they can get access to your device and all your information, or they can install viruses on those, and they can just completely shut down your devices. So when I was young, I didn't know any better, and I would always click on these links, and it always just junk my tablets on my iPads, and I was like, shoot. So I definitely had to learn the hard way. Yeah, my parents most definitely. Here's an example of another one. Your bill is paid for March. Thanks. Here's a little gift for you. Come on now. When do banks or credit card companies give you gifts for paying your bills? I wish, but they don't. So another scam. Now another one. EDD alert. Due to irregular activities on your card, your EDD debit card is currently suspended. Kindly click in the link below to reactivate your card. Thank you. What you'll notice a lot in scam messages is poor grammar. Yeah, they do not know how to spell or write or form proper sentences. No, you don't say kindly. That's a good one. But again, most importantly, if you guys did not sign up to receive messages personally, any of these messages are going to be a scam. Good? Okay, now how to block these numbers that keep calling you. For an Apple product, first. Okay, so if you have your iPhone, feel free to pull it out right now again so you guys can follow along through. All right, so if you open up your device, you unlock it. I'll do it with you. You'll click on the green little icon that looks like a phone. Perfect. Then you'll go to Recents on the very bottom. So it shows a whole list of numbers. Okay, now that you have it on that page, you'll see a letter I next to the phone number. If you click on that, it'll prompt up the contact as shown in the middle picture. Now, depending on how it looks, if you don't see it right there, as soon as you open it, you can scroll down to the very bottom, and in red letters, you should see block this caller. So if you know that the same number has called you 3 times back to back, you're like, oh, I'm tired of this guy. You can just open up the phone log, click on his contact with the letter I, and hit block caller. And now that number won't be able to call you again. Okay, now for an Android device. Let me get my Android. Same thing, you're going to want to unlock your device for your Androids, and you're going to want to click on the green phone icon or picture. Cool. Now once you do, you click on the name or the number that calls you, and you're going to hit that same picture of the letter I. Now once you do, it'll prompt up the person's contact. Now once you're there, on the very bottom, you'll see a circle with a line through it. And underneath that, it'll say block. You want to hit that picture, and then from there, you'll confirm that you want to block the contact. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So right now, we'll have general questions and answers here on the stage. Once we pick on you, just wait until you have the microphone in hand. That way, everyone else at home can hear the questions you have. And then once we're done with the general questions and answers, we'll have a little one-on-one support for other general functions and features here. Okay, first question.
How do you set up group contacts? How do you lump them together so you can have a distribution list?
A group text message or a group contact?
Group text message.
Group text message. Great question. We'll do that on the one-on-one presentations. It is quite a bit of steps to do, okay? If anyone wants to learn how to do group messages, feel free to come up and join her, and then that way you guys can all learn together.
How do you create a group contact?
A group contact you cannot create because when you try to send a message, it's going to just want to send it to the very first number. So you'll have to create separate contacts for each individual person. But once you create those separate contacts, you can put all of those contacts in one message chain. That way, if you send out a message, it'll send them out to all those people. Okay, over there.
Okay, now you talked about little I twice.
Correct.
This last time it was I for identification. But what's the I with the circle in it?
The I with the circle, great question. It means information. So when you hit that I, you're saying, hey, I want more information on this caller or this contact.
So that's also on your computer too, right?
Correct, yes.
So whenever you see the I with this little I with a circle, it just is asking for information.
Correct, yeah, it's just an abbreviated way to say information. Because imagine it's saying information, that'd be super long.
Okay.
So they just put a little symbol of an I, and when you click that, you're saying, hey, I want more information on this person or this phone number.
Good. Thank you. The other question I had is about Wi-Fi.
Correct?
Now, we all supposedly have Wi-Fi with our monthly dues, right? When we pay our 343 or whatever it is. So everybody's supposed to have Wi-Fi. But does it vary from house to house depending upon how high you are in the mountains or something? But like sometimes we have trouble at our house.
Well, sometimes the Wi-Fi speeds can depend, but it won't depend. In a small knit community like this, it won't depend from your neighbor's house to your house, or maybe even a quarter mile up the road versus to where you're at. What generally affects Wi-Fi speeds and how fast it is how many people are using it at the same time. So say if everybody in the whole community uses the Wi-Fi at once, the speeds are going to be a lot slower. But if only half are using it at one time and the other half aren't, your speeds are going to be fast.
I believe that's her issue. It may be more people using the Wi-Fi, and when she tries to get on, it's kind of slow.
Correct. Yeah, I have the same issue in my house. Sometimes we'll fight at the household. If, like I just had this fight, I think 3 days ago with my family. I think there was like 3 TVs on in the house. No one's even watching the TVs. Everyone's on their phone. But then you had speakers playing in the background. I'm like, guys, you guys are slowing down your internet speeds. What are you doing? If you're not using it, turn it off. And once we turned off all the unknown devices that no one was using, surprise, surprise, the speeds went up. The more devices that are being used on the Wi-Fi, the slower the speeds will be.
It's just basically her computer that she's using, that and the Nest
Gotcha.
for the thermostat.
Okay.
Yeah, just those 2 items.
Okay.
Hi. I have an Android, and when I'm trying to take something on my Android and send it to my printer, I was running into some problems, and I was told it's because my Android is on a 5G,
5G,
but my printer is on a different G. What is a G, first of all? What is 5G, and why are they 2 different speeds?
5G now is a new, faster, like cellular data. So everyone remembers 3G, right? And then after 3G came 4G. So right now we're in another mass migration from 4G to 5G. It just gets faster over time. Yes, yeah, I was on the first screen. So I know some people do have 4G still, but that's because we haven't migrated fully until 5G. So a lot of people still have 4G, but a lot of people still have 5G as well. But for your concern, the reason it's not connecting most likely is because both your devices aren't on the same Wi-Fi network. So if your phone isn't connected to Wi-Fi, if it's 5G, meaning that it's using your cellular data. It's using service from Verizon or Spectrum or Sprint, whoever you have, instead of your home Wi-Fi. So your printer will be on your home Wi-Fi because the printer can't operate on anything other than Wi-Fi. So if you send something from your phone to your printer and your phone's not on the internet, then your printer has no way to receive that information. So your phone would need to be blue in that little picture we talked about earlier. That's how you know your phone's connected to your home internet. So once your phone's on the home internet and your printer's on the home internet, you should easily be able to send stuff and print stuff.
Thank you.
Of course. Any other
Come on, I know
questions?
there's some other questions.
Two questions.
Yes.
I have an Apple, and my ringtone seems to be stuck on some awful foghorn noise. And I've changed it before. I know how to do that. But no matter what I do now, it's stuck on the foghorn.
Perfect. If you want to see us
Oh,
after,
perfect.
perfect. It's an easy fix. If you want to see us after the general questions, we'll be more than happy to help you.
Okay, and the other question was, is there a way to know that you have a voicemail without actually calling your voicemail? It seems like when I had Android, there was a little symbol that said 1, 2, 3 voicemails or whatever.
Yes.
Am I
Great question,
missing
actually.
Something?
Yeah. So if you guys all want to pull out your phones, I can help guide you. Steve, grab the Android. So if you have an Apple phone, again, you'll want to hit the green call button. The green little phone button. Once you unlock the phone. Okay, I'll give everyone a couple seconds. Okay, now if you look on the very bottom of the screen towards the right side, you'll actually see voicemail. It looks like little Mickey Mouse ears. So once you hit that button, you'll see a list of all the people who left you voicemails. Do you see it on your phone? Let me take a look here. Yeah, you have voicemail. So anytime. Correct. Yes, it'll be saved right there. And thank you. Okay. Okay. Now, if you have an Android device, okay, you want to open up your Android device, and you want to hit that that picture of a phone again, that green picture. And then next to the little button, the green little button again, you'll see those Mickey Mouse ears inside of an envelope. And that'll be your voice message, or your voicemail. And sometimes for Androids, it's automatically set up just to receive voicemails. But if it's not automatically set up, you just hit that little icon, and you just follow the steps to set it up. And if you have issues with that again, come up and we'll help you. Perfect. Any other questions? General questions? Back there?
I'm pretty good at fixing things, but I cannot get the do not disturb off on focus, and it keeps saying it's on.
Gotcha. Here, let me walk over there with you. Okay. So, iPhone. I'll show you a little shortcut. If you have do not disturb on your iPhone, you want to swipe down from the bottom right corner again. And it says do not disturb. You just hit that little button and it turns it off. Perfect.
We have a question right here.
Of course.
She wants to know how to get her message on her phone, her recorded message.
Recorded message. Good question.
Right. She wants to change the message that she left for the voicemails.
Oh,
So
for the voicemail, okay.
Right. So do you want to do that afterwards, or do you
Yeah.
want to? Okay.
Yeah,
So you'll
that's
go
a-
up to him and he'll.
Yeah, it's something that's not super simple to do just by explaining, so we'll show you how to do it.
Okay.
Correct.
Some other questions?
Perfect.
I have a number of text messages on my phone, and I would like to take that string of text messages and copy them and save them to my computer. Can I do that?
Okay, which device do you have?
I have an Android.
Do you know which Android you have?
It's a Samsung.
Samsung. Okay, let me double check here. I know some Samsungs you can and some you can't. It's just the way that they save onto the computer. Sometimes the way like they're formatted into the phone, you cannot read them on the computer. Do you have your Samsung on you? Let me take a look here.
Do we have any other questions?
Down here,
Oh, we do have another question here.
just settings there. Perfect. Just want to see what phone you have. Okay. So the A10e on that phone, you won't be able to back it up onto your computer. What you can do is you can take a screenshot of the message you want to save, and from there, that'll be considered a photo. Okay, if you want to see us after, we can try to figure it out with you. Okay.
My question was, can you make video calls from an Apple to an Android or vice versa?
Yes.
Via what?
Just barely this year, you're able to do that. But you would need an app and that you can download from like your app store on your phone that's compatible with both Android and Apple. I know one of them is WhatsApp. So I know that app, you can communicate with an Android to a Huawei or a Samsung, a Google phone. So that one is the most widely used application when it comes to video calls or voice calls.
Isn't there another one called Duo?
Duo, yes, but in our experience, there's a lot of glitching and slow speeds with Duo. It does work, but it gets really frustrating at times. Yes, it is automatic, but depending on what device the other person has, what Android they have, their device may not be new enough to be able to receive that call. So it'll just come up as like a black screen or like a regular phone call. And you have a question?
Just a second.
Oh,
I have one response and one question.
Okay.
I'm able to do what she was asking about using Messenger, where I can have a visual, no matter whether they have an Apple or
yeah,
an
Messenger,
Android.
Facebook Messenger, that's another good one.
Yeah, and it's free. I like that part.
Yes.
What I can't figure out and is getting me is I have an Android phone and I have an iPad and I have an iMac. I'm
Okay.
trying to, I thought I solved the problem using Google Calendar so it could be on both devices. And I wound up not having them missed various things because I was relying on my calendar. Is there a way to have them on both systems?
They are, however, their software systems don't always work 100% of the time. A lot of the time they'll have miscommunication issues. So there's not like a foolproof system per se, unless we, how can we do that? Set up another personal email account onto their calendar? We probably, maybe like another foolproof plan would be to create a separate email, another Google email, just for your calendar notifications, and then add that to your iMacs from there. Sometimes creating a whole new one, starting from scratch, fixes the issue like 90% of the time.
I was just telling somebody right now too, when you put somebody's name, contact in your contacts, and if you put their address on there, once you tap on their address, it'll go to your maps and it'll show you how to get to that address.
Absolutely, absolutely. So how we learned earlier today, how to make changes to someone's contact, like on an iPhone or a Samsung. One of those is like the email, we went over the email, the phone number, and another one is the address. You can even type in their address. So if they live in Canada and you have their address, you can just type in their Canadian address there, and then say you want to be spontaneous and take a road trip one day. You just go to like, hey, Allison lives in Canada. Let me pull up her contact. So I'm gonna pull up her contact, I'm gonna scroll address. You click on her address or just tap on it, and it'll automatically open up the navigation on your phone and take you straight over there. It's not an app. It's on your contacts. When you edit and add information, when you add their address on there, you can always go back to the address, and once you click on the address, it'll automatically open up the navigation on your phone and take you to that person. Perfect. Any other general questions? One over there.
Okay, I have an Android phone, and when I update the phone, you know, because they say update, I update it. This time I got 2 games on my phone. How do I get rid of these games?
Those will help you delete after our questions. It's super simple.
Oh, okay.
But again, one of my biggest pet peeves with Androids is when you, a lot of time when you update it, they'll put in a whole bunch of unwanted applications or especially games on there, stuff that you don't even want or ask for. But again, it's super easy to remove. Okay. Any other questions? General questions?
Any general questions? Okay, then what we'll do is I'll have, do you want to go in the back? Do you want to keep it up here? How do you want to do it?
We'll take it to the back to that
Okay.
table over there.
Okay, so I'm going to let them go ahead and step in the back and give them just a few minutes to get back there. And I want to thank everybody for coming out. And don't forget, we have our next program about the fire extinguishers, and that will be on June 13th. And don't forget, there is a time change. It is going to be at 10 o'clock in the morning to 12 because that is Charity Week, the week after, so we had to change our date and time. So again, it's going to be Tuesday, June 13th from 10 to 12 and here in the main ballroom, and it's on Be Prepared How to Properly Use a Fire Extinguisher. I want to thank everybody, and if you want to go in the back, you're more than welcome to do that. Thank you very much.